Hello, Cancer, and welcome to your reading for the weeks of November 5th through 18, 2024. This is a reading if you are Cancer Sun, Cancer Moon, Cancer Rising, or have another significant Cancer placement in your chart. If you're new to this channel, welcome. It's good to have you. And if you're returning, welcome back. You can check the description box below for my website, my social media, if you want to know more about my services, not only tarot, but the other things that I do and my coaching practice and everything around it. All of that is in the description box below. And thank you guys so much for watching, who have watched and stayed with me for this period of time. And I hope any newcomers find this interesting and enlightening. So let's just jump right into the reading. As we've mentioned, the astrology has been very complicated over the last couple months. So now November's supposed to be moving into a quieter space, but I think there's still going to be a lot going on for the next few months. So still, I think a very active period, certainly a very volatile period this month, with Mars being in your sign in particular at the Enetic, which is actually at the very end of the sign. So there's there's almost like, I almost see that as like a feminine warrior type energy right now. I mean, it could be interpreted other ways, but I feel like that's really a strong thing right now. Now, this is really interesting with you, Cancer. I'm just looking at your 1st and 7th house. And you've got 10 cards in both. You've got the 10 of Chalices and you've got the 10 of Pentacles. Now, opposite houses tend to connect to each other. 1st house is you and your identity. The 7th house has to do with your relationships to others. So this is you in connection to others. So it's interesting because you have the twins here. So you may be reflecting the personality of another, or you may be very focused on another. With the 10 of Chalices, this is definitely a strong community and family vibe. There's a very loving energy here about community and wanting to connect and wishes granted and being happy in a space that has to do with your connection to somebody else. Now, sometimes this card comes up when and I don't like to use the word two-faced because it's not really what I mean, but it could be that sometimes there's a public face and a private face that we have for people, but not necessarily. I feel like with the 10 of Chalices, this is more about you being focused more on the community, being focused outward, and focused on this kind of happiness. However, in the 7th house, which is your house of relationship, and this has to do with more committed partnerships, marriages, but also if you are business contracts and relationships and stuff like that can apply here as well. So there's some kind of partnership where there's a problem, okay? This is the Scorpio energy showing up here. And Scorpio, we are in Scorpio season, and Scorpio energy this is where things are transforming, okay? And we have it with Anubis. So I feel like there may be, if you're looking for love or you're looking for a commitment, somebody may be keeping their boundaries right now. Anubis is somebody maybe who has trust issues, is not, or for whatever reason is just holding back. Now with 10 of Pentacles here, there could be some financial component to this, or this could have to do with a family matter. That may be part of the reason that this person's holding back. Now for those of you who are not in relationships currently, we have Urias with the moon in the 5th house. So yeah, this is the Leo energy. There's definitely a sense here of something is not clear. There's something you're not seeing here. Something's hidden, something perhaps that you are intuiting, but that just the externals are not really showing the situation. Now for some people, and I don't want to take this only if you know that it applies. But this could be, for some of you, this could be somebody who's having an affair, okay, the way that this is construed for some people. But again, does not have to be that. I don't necessarily think that's what this is about. I feel like it's more like there's something, if you're looking for love, there's somebody who's not being obvious to you, somebody where the situation is unclear or cloudy, or maybe not what it looks like on the surface. And it may be because that person is going through some kind of changes right now where they are protecting themselves. Family may figure in, or just even finances, finding financial security. Because 10 of Pentacles is about culmination or the completion of something financial. So it's interesting because there's this energy of you reaching out in community, and there's definitely this sense of community here, but there does seem to be some kind of a boundary here. There just seems to be something here that is that may be blocking the development of a relationship, or maybe a conflict right now. And again, with this scorpionic energy, this suggests to me that we're actually being navigated towards a transformation of that relationship. So again, we have these two culmination cards here, which I think is really interesting. So with you in relationship to somebody else, again, whether this has to do with a love, romantic partner, spouse, or whether this has to do with business, work, or some other kind of significant relationship. This is Libra energy in the 7th house, so oftentimes it has to do with things that are legal contracts and things like that. So it could even be, if you have a contract with, I don't know, to do a project or for an employee or something like that. Actually, 5th house is also the house of creativity. So for some of you, yeah, there could be some confusion or something that's not clear about a creative project as well. So that's another way that this might apply if you're not somebody looking for love. Now, but you've got this new energy that I've seen, though. I don't want to suggest in any way, shape, or form that because of this that things are bad. It just seems like there's somebody here who's going through something, and there may be some negotiation required, or there may be a need to establish that security. And if you've been looking to somebody for security in this way, it just seems like there could be some barriers. But I don't think they're going to be ultimately prohibitive. I think they're just creating a delay. But you have this new energy here. You've got the Ace of Pentacles with Hathor in the 2nd house. So Ace of Pentacles is new streams of income, doing something new. And with Hathor, this could be involving a female. I mean, there could be a female person who hires you for something or introduces you to a new income stream. But Hathor here can also be you just getting your finances organized, getting things together, wanting more stability. There's a lot here around wanting stability, both emotional and practical here. So there does seem like there's going to be a new opportunity. And what's interesting is I'm looking at the 10th house, and there's another ace here. There's the Ace of Swords. Now, this is the house of legacy. So Ace of Swords is, again, a new beginning, something coming in very swiftly. With Thoth, some of you, this could have to do with writing, potentially, or something academic, because Thoth definitely has that vibe, or even something medical. If you're working more in a healing profession, that might be how it applies. But something, this very sudden new beginning coming here. And something also, when we see Thoth, that indicates it's coming at the proper time. Okay, so I have a feeling you're going to be offered something new very, very suddenly. It's going to be connected to your finances and your work. This could be an academic project. It could be a writing project. It could be, like I said, if you're in a healing profession, that they could have to do with that. Or this could be monies that are coming to you from some kind of legal thing that maybe allow you to make a very, very sudden new start. But Ace of Swords is very sudden and unexpected messages coming in that can, and this is very strongly intellectual, which is why I keep looking at writing and things like that, or writing or teaching or anything that seems to do with communication. But it does not have to be that. There just does seem to be some sudden changes. Now, if I look at your Virgo house, which is your house of work, yeah, we have Earth here. So this seems like there's a job or something where money can be coming in. And you have this Lovers card. So the Lovers, that's interesting. Okay, so I'm wondering here, just looking at what we've just discussed about the 1st and 7th house, if there's either going to be a partnership potentially with somebody where there could be like a lucrative partnership, or it just seems like there's some kind of a new sudden thing coming in. And maybe, I don't know, maybe there's a sense that you're not trusting of that relationship. Maybe this is you maintaining the boundaries and not the other person. I mean, this could also indicate that there's, can I trust this situation? But the 10 of Pentacles seems to indicate something that would bring financial success. So that feels to me like that's another possibility here. Lovers also brings choices, though. So I feel like you're going to be presented with this new beginning. This may be an opportunity to work with somebody. But it also feels like you may have some choices. Like maybe there's just something, I don't know. It's almost like I feel like you might have an opportunity to work with something, maybe to do something that's really great, or that's going to give you visibility, or something that maybe you've just been waiting on for a while. But whatever it is, it's going to come in very suddenly. And I feel like you're going to have some ambivalence about it. Because even though I think it is financially going to be a beneficial thing, there may be something about the person you're working with that's making you feel like, I'm not sure how I feel about this. So anyway, So take that as it resonates there. This could have to do with a romance, and I think for some of you, maybe that's the way it's going to apply. But for some of you, I feel like this may be about a contract or something related to some kind of work that you're doing. And like I said, Thoth has largely to do with academics, with writing, with the law, with medicine. So I feel like I think about Thoth as the scribe of the gods. So that's why I keep pointing to these communication-oriented things. But again, if you don't work in a field that's like that, then this just tells me that there's some kind of a new opportunity in what you're doing that's going to come in very, very suddenly. Okay, and yeah, if we look down at your Gemini house, we have Osiris with the Two of Pentacles. So yeah, Osiris is being solid, stable in judgment. So if you have been working, say, at your own business, there's definitely a sense of things putting down roots, being secure, being a good leader, being able to trust your own judgment. And Two of Pentacles indicates being very busy, like you're juggling more than one thing. Okay, so, and going with the flow of things. This doesn't feel, even though I know we're moving into a Mercury retrograde period, which can be problematic, I just feel like you're kind of in a good flow. You're able to juggle things. Like you've got more than one thing going on, and you're able to juggle things. But again, seeing two here and the Lovers here, there also could be an element of choice. Maybe there's going to be a point at which you say, okay, I'm going to dedicate my energy to this and not to that. Yeah, so there definitely seems to be some new opportunities coming up, and definitely a chance for you to connect. Although it does seem like there's at least one connection that you're kind of like, about. There's something, either you're that way or somebody may be behaving that way towards you. And it just feels like maybe there's something about it. But I will say this, Urias often indicates that we are assuming the worst, and the worst may not be true. Like maybe we've had a bad experience in the past and we're going, I don't know, last time I did A, B happened, but it may be saying it's not quite what it appears to be. So I think ultimately, with whatever the situation is, your intuition has to be your guide here. Whatever your gut tells you. And again, distinguishing your gut feelings from your being triggered by past reactions or past situations. Now let's look at the 8th house of transformation. So you have Bast with the Queen of Chalices. Okay, Queen of Chalices is definitely your energy, Cancer. And yeah, I mean, this is Bast, again, strongly intuitive, gives you wish to receive. There's a strong social element to this. Like, I feel like if you've been, it's weird because the Hermit is the card at the center of your reading, okay? But I feel like you are very social. You are very out. You're being seen right now. And this is definitely this idea of allowing yourself to trust in the thing that you're actually really good at, Cancer, which is your emotions, trusting your feelings and your intuition. I feel like you're going to be moving into a space that is going to be more emotional. This is a card of happiness. So I feel like you're getting ready to move into a phase where you are going to be working harmoniously with people, harmoniously with people, and that you're going to be flowing into a space that's going to be a lot happier. But again, there's always a reminder, even with Bastet, that you pay attention to your intuition. If I look at your 9th house, which has to do with expansion, travel, and if there is something academic here, that would also be covered here. Yeah, we've got air here. So for some of you, I think this is the house of long distance travel. So for some of you, maybe there is a trip far away that is in question here or coming up. And but this is also about communication. Again, when I said about academic communication, writing, teaching, I think that is definitely going to be the case for at least one person watching this. But we got the 4 of Wands here. So again, the 4 of Wands, again, it's like this gateway card. Like we're passing through a gateway to something new. The 9th house is about Jupiter energy. It's about how we're expanding our horizons. So it does have to do with long distance travel. How we get out of our comfort zone, right? It's about higher education. Whether or knowledge that just goes beyond the superficial. So it has to do with spiritual knowledge as well. It's like you're standing at a gateway here. And traditionally, on the Rider-Waite-Smith version of this card, you actually see this literally is like a gateway. People will call it the 1111 card. And there's like a couple standing there. It looks like they've just got married. So there's a lot here about working with somebody else. And it may be working with somebody in concert on an academic project or something that is... and maybe there's even going to be travel connected with it. So, but 4 of Wands indicates kind of being at a threshold between, what you can look back on with pride, what you've accomplished. That's very positive and very satisfying, and is making you feel very satisfied here. What's completing, and what the next step is that you're walking towards. Yeah, there's definitely, with the tens and the aces, especially in this, there's this like gateway here. There's this gateway in the expansion house saying, okay, it's time for you to expand your horizons. And for some of you, this may literally have to do with travel. But I feel like communicating and speaking or writing or something of that nature may be part of this. But it can also just indicate things that just start to move along very quickly for you as well. So take it as it resonates. Now, if I go over to the 11th house, which is your friendships and what you're trying to manifest, again, we have water here now. So again, we have movement, change. Water sometimes literally has to do with going to places where there's water. But I feel like it's telling you to go with the flow, and you have the star energy. Now, the star energy in the 11th house, that is a great energy, because star in the 11th house says like wishes granted. And you've got it in your first house too. So I don't know. You are definitely on the verge of getting something you really wanted, Cancer. And but this also, to me, indicates taking some time out for healing. This is about connection, about connecting to your emotions, but star can make us feel a little vulnerable too. We may be at a beginning point. This is after the tower, okay? After the tower falls, this is the future we're looking at, the beginning and the possibility. And very fitting that it shows up in the house of Aquarius as Pluto moves from Capricorn into Aquarius around the 19th of November. So that will literally be, your next reading is going to incorporate that. But I feel like there's a lot of hope here. Star brings a lot of hope and the ability to manifest your wishes. So I feel like it's saying go with the flow with that right now. Now I haven't looked at your own house, which is the 4th house. So let's jump down there. Okay, you have the Ankh with strength. Okay, Ankh, again, this is you being strong. This is very strong life force card, okay? But this is also very much about love and passion and what we're passionate about. So here, this could be just a love of home, of being at home, of there's really strong energy here, Cancer, of you doing what you excel at, which is like making a community, making people feel at home. Like that is definitely all of the best, the strengths. We have the strength card here of your sign. And with strength here, it does feel like there's something that you've gone through recently. Like there's something here that you have been experiencing. And I feel like it's almost like you need to be in your home space or feel at home so that you can have some time to rejuvenate yourself in a way, like regain your strength. I feel like the home is going to be a place of strength for you. And it's just so interesting to see it there, because there's just this deep love of life. And okay, when we think about health and health matters, which is what this makes me think of, I feel like this is more like you need to be grounded. You need to make decisions or you need to get help from people. Like I said, with the Lovers in the 6th house, this could be seeking support from others. Maybe if you're married, maybe support from your spouse. But this can also be about making choices that are good for you, for your health and your organization. Quality of life decisions. I feel like there's a lot of that here, because you are a type that tends to take on a lot. And you're a strong person. Don't get me wrong, but how you feel and your own happiness are a priority here. And I just feel like you are prioritizing your own happiness, which I think is great. That's the thing that you need to do. And if you have been through a difficult period, and I feel like your readings in the last few months have shown like a lot of stress and difficulty, I feel like you're now coming out of that. In fact, in the 12th house, you have the Pisces house. Isis again. This is definitely your energy. This is, and now Isis on the esoteric level has to do with mysteries and secrets, a little bit like the High Priestess, right? But it's also about, again, self-care, love, mother-type energy that's showing up in this house of liberation. And in this, but also it can be where we are unsure or have doubt. But we have it with the World card. So again, there's this idea that something is coming to an end. This is a Pisces thing that's coming to an end. Now, I can tell you, the astrology in there for early next year, we have both Saturn and Neptune moving into Aries. Now, with Neptune moving into Aries, okay, and out of Pisces, Neptune and Pisces can make us very imaginative, but it can also put us in a space where we're not really sure what's real and what's not. So that seems to be coming to an end as everything's going to move towards Aries here. When Neptune moves into Aries, it's like taking what's in the imagination and doing something with it, like being active. And to me, again, when I see that fire and water come together, it's almost like that aspect of the feminine that is more action-oriented, kind of like the Hindu Shaktis. It's something that's action-oriented. So it's about moving away. There's definitely this sense of an ending. And we always have a trepidation about endings too. We're always not sure about, oh, what's the new thing going to bring? But everything here looks really good for you. I mean, in spite of what we're seeing over here in the 7th house with this, I do feel like, yeah, there might be one person who you're not sure that you can trust. But Anubis just seems to indicate that whatever happens too, like you're not only going to be protected, but you're not going to delude yourself. And I don't know. I have a feeling there's going to be a partnership with somebody that's going to be bring a lot of security and a lot of happiness to you. But there may be some about the person. Maybe there's something, a connection or something there that you're unsure about. But again, with Urias here, I feel like whatever this is going to be unexpected. But if your first thought is, oh, if I work with that person, you know, these bad things are going to happen, or somebody had a bad experience, so I'm going to have a bad experience. I just don't feel like it's that exactly. So I just feel like there's something here. There's an opportunity for a new beginning here. And yes, you do have choices that you can make. Your intuition is your best guide, but I just feel like things may not be as bad as they might appear to be with something. So overall, you have fire. Yeah, this is you getting rid of the old, okay? Or transmuting the old, really. This is a card of transmutation of, I think of the violet flame, even though this is a regular, isn't a violet fire. I think of the violet flame in the sense that it's alchemical in the way it behaves. It's like we put the past in this crucible and, you know, and all of our past trauma and so forth, and kind of burn it up and transform it into something that's like a gold for us, like an opportunity. And I feel like that's what's happening here. And also there's like a lot of inspiration that's coming in. But Hermit here indicates that amongst all this partnership, there may be a time that there may be a need for you to take a little bit of a time out. Make sure that you are looking inward and that is what's informing you. I'm seeing that a lot for people. Don't let other people set your agenda for you. You should set your own agenda here with the Hermit. And therefore you need to rely on your own wisdom here and turn in towards that. I'm not seeing this as a card of you withdrawing from the world, but I see this as you getting in touch more with your inner feelings and allowing that fire of source and inspiration to come through you. Because I feel like you've had an exhausting run lately, Cancer. So this is a very good thing. So let's see what the Moonology cards have for Cancer for November 5th through 18th, 2024. What does Cancer need to know? This is so funny. I got New Moon in Gemini for Gemini, and I'm getting New Moon in Cancer for Cancer. Okay, it says you and your loved ones are safe, and that's interesting. I think that may connect with this here. So I'm going to read that first. I did get 2 cards for you, so let's read that first. There's a new start coming in your private life. Something is rising up in connection with the people and places you hold dearest. This can be to do with a member of your family, a flatmate, or moving house. If you're hoping to move forward with something special in your private life, this card comes to you as a message that you can do it. If you've been neglecting your family, it's time to reconnect. If you've been neglecting yourself, you need to take better care of yourself. That's what I think is more it, because I don't see a problem so much in the family sector here. Take care of yourself and nurture yourself more. If insecurity is holding you back, that's something for you to work on. Doing so can bring your heart's desire. And yeah, I feel like that might be what's going on over here, is that there's a worry about safety, you know, with working with others, but it's saying, I feel like it's saying you're protected. And then you have the Disseminating Moon card. Take time to breathe out. So let's see what this says. The intensity of the full moon is abated, and what are you left with? That's what this card is asking you. It suggests the situation has now peaked, and it's time for you to regroup and learn from your experiences rather than blindly forging ahead. Have faith that what is happening is for the best. Try to accept the way things are now. Give yourself and others time to relax. I think that's the important piece. Breathe. You can't be on all the time. If you feel you've hit an obstacle or even failed in some ways, reflect on how to do things differently. Be honest with yourself if you feel bad about a current situation, and then remind yourself that life goes in cycles. Yes, so I do feel like with everything you've been through, there is a need to integrate that and to take a break. But there's also all this energy of potential here. Like, work on your healing and work on disconnecting from these things, because there's going to be some wonderful new opportunities here. And for some of you, there seems to be something about partnering with somebody, possibly in education, possibly in some other aspect of your career, whatever that is. But there's definitely new financial opportunities and perhaps new career opportunities coming in for some of you. So, yeah. So anyway, interesting reading. Actually, I think a very good one on the whole. I hope this was helpful, Cancer. If you did like this reading, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe and hit the notification bell if you want to be notified about future videos. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.